Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy. One skip I am, you're not. How you doing? What's going on? Tell me something good. It's Saturday in the park. No, it's not. It's Saturday and it's snowing outside. It is actually snowing outside here on the 12th of April. And significant sticking snow. A good inch is out there. Unbelievable. But for those people that are really struggling and suffering in Kentucky, definitely prayers to those people in Kentucky. I know that there's two content creators that are probably my least favorite in the world, but I certainly don't wish any harm upon them. And I hope everything's all right with everybody in Kentucky, including those two. Guys, Gypsy Rose, do you know how it would have been just so easy for this girl, Gyps-ahoooooy, to have just come to terms with the fact that she should just be a regular child, unlike Pinocchio, who wasn't. Seriously, Gypsy could have had an amazing life if celebrityism wasn't a part of it. She'd have nobody talking about her, which apparently, see, that's not what she wants. She wants people talking about her. However, she wants people talking about her in a way of glorifying her, in a way of saying she is a survivor. She was able to get out of a rough situation, and look at what she's done with her life. However, we can't say that about Gypsy because we know what's happened with her life. Had she have just gotten out in 8.5 years like she did, stayed married to Ryan, kept to herself, instead of all of these press conferences and all of these shows which showed lie upon lie. We would have known nothing about these lies had Gypsy have just kept stump and kept their mouth shut and kept on the down low about everything that was going on. But she didn't. She had to act like she was some sort of victim when she wasn't. Now that would have been the thing which I don't agree with, the lawyers coming up with this alibi for her, this bullshit alibi. But being that they came up with it, maybe they could have told her, just shut up when you get out of prison and, I don't know, write a book about it, make some money on it, invest, and keep stump. But that's not what happened. A few shows about Gypsy, as you know, had come out. Gypsy started talking. The lies started building up. She couldn't keep up with the lies. It caused definitely doubt, horrible doubt in what actually happened with her mom and what happened with Nick and what happened with the whole situation. Had she have just kept her mouth shut, she could have had her whole friggin' life without it being under scrutiny. She could have been the survivor that she wanted to be. She could have been the person that she claims she was. But she didn't play the role that way. She didn't act it out that way. She acted out like a bratty kid that lied and told stories and showed no remorse and showed no compassion for the person that she set up to do the unaliving of her mom. All of this could have been something that we would have never known about if that's what Gypsy wanted. But she didn't. She was willing to risk everything by us believing in a stupid story that never occurred. Kind of like the first time she ever was at the ocean, the first time she ever swam with dolphins, the first time she ever went to Disney World, the first time she ever ate steak, all of this bullshit that was proven in pictures and in conversations with Gypsy. And now we're made to more or less feel bad because we caught her in a lie? because we're trying to find justice for Nick and for Gypsy's mom, all because Gypsy wanted to unalive her mom. And again, I have to ask, why so fucking brutal? Why was it so brutal? I guess if I had a question to ask Gypsy, it would be simply, why? Why was it so brutal? Why couldn't you give your mom a shot of insulin? Or, I don't know, why couldn't you have put just air in her veins? Or why couldn't you have taken some of that medication that was in the cabinet and just overdosed your mom? Why so brutal? Why the hatred? There isn't one picture of Gypsy looking unhappy. We see Gypsy with a toothless grin from ear to ear, eating royal mashed potatoes, doing everything Gypsy wanted to do. Show me a picture, please, of Gypsy miserable, of her not doing something that she wants to do. And please don't show me the sleep apnea picture where she's fucking just having a sleep apnea mask put on her, because that's what that is. You know, the picture that everybody thinks is such a big deal, where it's a sleeping mask that's on her. So guys, like, seriously, this woman could have lived a private life, could have had money, but wouldn't be on TikTok. You know, she could have played this. Oh God, she could have even been on TikTok. She could have been somebody really trying to advocate for Munchausen by proxy, had she have played it right, but she didn't. She played it as a bratty, sex-crazed monster, demon that wanted a path of destruction behind her. That's how she played it. That's the way she behaved in it. And that's exactly how she acted upon it. So my question again, when it comes to Gyps-ahoooooy, is why? Why was it more important to her to have infamy than to just to get away with the MURDER, live a nice, quiet life, have a family, have the person you want in your life? But that's not what she wants. She wants this chaos. She invites this chaos. She loves this chaos. When she does those dances on TikTok, where she has no rhythm and everything, she wants us talking about her. Why isn't she with the baby? Why isn't she doing baby shark dances? Why isn't she doing a mommy and me class? Why is she on here? Because she wants that. If she's doing the right thing, would we talk about it? Well, I don't know. She's not done the right thing for us to try to even talk about it. All she's done is the wrong thing. But she had the option, even after doing the wrong thing of unaliving her mom, coming out here and trying to do the right thing by faking us all out and acting like it was really Munchausen by proxy and being an advocacy person for Munchausen by proxy. But she hasn't done anything like that. All she's done is come out and mock the whole friggin' situation. She hasn't even tried to act like somebody who was a victim. And I know that because there's real victims out here that don't act like Gypsy, and you guys know that as well, right? We know that. So why was it more important for Gypsy? I mean, did she like have in her mind that she was going to just be famous when she grew up? That she was just going to be this famous person? This somebody who was just supposed to get everything that they ever wanted in life? Like, which person is that? Which Disney character is that? Why does Gypsy think she deserves that? Why did she believe, or does she believe, that she shouldn't have to work? Why does she believe that things should be handed to her? Because that's what her mom did for her. Her mom spoiled the fuck out of her, and then she went ahead and had her mom murdered. Think about that. Just seriously, I know we've talked about this case, but think about that. Just think about that. Think about what this woman has done. The one thing that was good. I'd like to see the one thing that was good that this woman has done. That's what I'd like to see. So Gypsy Rose! I don't know where her life is going to end up, or I don't know what's going to be with her, except that it can't be all roses for her, because that's just not the way life is. She has a kid that's going to annoy the hell out of her because she didn't want this kid. If she wanted this kid would be her life. It would be the most important thing in her life. It's not. This kid is a distraction. This kid is somebody that she puts inside of a crib and then walks around and acts like there's nothing that can touch Gypsy. I mean, I don't know what world she thinks she lives in. I sit here and I shake my head because I say, how can somebody so vicious, so horrible, spend 8.5 years in jail, in prison, where nobody, I guess, beat the shit out of her, her own fucking big mouth, gets away with, I just, for the love of God, I mean, I'd like to ask one of her cellmates, why didn't somebody beat the living shit out of her in prison? What was it that she had there? You know, because she's annoying as hell. So, well, now that everybody knows who she is, and I mean, you know, everybody knows who she is. I mean, those FOIAs are out there. I'm spreading them out there. Anybody that wants them, I'm giving them to. Everybody should know who she is. Be appalled by her. Point at her wherever she goes and call her what she is, a mommy murderer. Just, you know, remind her of who she is, because she thinks she's a celebrity. She thinks she puts good in this world. She thinks she's got good messages. Where? Where is the good message? Where does Gypsy keep trying and trying and trying to make it, as opposed to using people to get what she wants? Just think about that. Think about this person who makes money after unaliving their mom and is a spokesperson for I don't know what on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, reaching out to vulnerable people. And what she's saying is, you don't have to follow the rules. No, the rules don't apply for me. They don't apply for you either. Do whatever the hell you want at the expense of anybody. And it'll all work out. That's what Lifetime, Disney, anybody else that supports Gypsy is doing. Because that's exactly what Gypsy did. The FOIAs are proof. Gypsy's lies are proof. And show me the photo of where Gypsy is so miserable. Show me where she was ABUSED'd. Because there's a few photos that will show you where her mom was. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. I guess when we stop talking about Gypsy is when Gypsy either is back in prison or when Gypsy's life is destroyed, kind of like her mom's life was destroyed, or her legacy, or anything that people speak good about Gypsy. That narrative needs to change, because there is nothing good about Gypsy. Somebody who had their mom unalived in such a fashion, laughing, dancing, not a care in the world, that's normal? In what world? Guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. You're not. I am. Thanks.